What's up, Big C? Ready for some hog slop action?
It is time for some hog slop action here in the slop house, as the
That's
kids
right,
call
baby.
it. I don't know if the
That's
kids
right.
call it that. We
Yeah,
call it that sometimes.
we're kids, right? We got parents.
Yeah, like almost 50-year-old kids.
Yeah,
Anyway, hey, Travis, you said you were going to do it. You said you're going to do it. You have your plan to fix college football.
man, we're gonna fix it tonight.
And the Razorbacks have a basketball team.
They do. We're still playing basketball. Well, you think Cal's gonna get booed?
I think you might.
I think he
They're
might.
probably going to be happy to see
Yeah, that's
it.
right. Yeah, that's right.
So,
They may
yeah,
cheer.
they got it.
The way things are going, they may say, "Ha ha, yay!"
Thank you for coming.
That's right. Thanks
We'll
for
take this
taking.
W.
Anyway, we'll talk about basketball. We'll talk about some college football. We got some ideas. And some of them are ideas you've heard. Some of them are ideas other people throwing out there. Some of them may be new to you. We'll see. And we'll talk about other stuff.
Other stuff. Yeah.
What
Whole
kind
thing.
of shirt do you got on?
This is a jiu-jitsu. There's a
Oh,
guy
okay,
throwing a
gotcha.
guy.
It almost looks
You
like a.
think it's like a Ferrari shirt or
I
whatever.
couldn't tell what that shield was on the front.
I
It almost looks like a.
see. What's that? A Ferrari logo? Is that
I
what it's
think,
supposed to be?
yeah. So I was thinking it was a
Yeah, I
soccer
don't.
shirt.
I mean, look, man. Look, my idea of an expensive vehicle is like a Ford.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay. Well,
Ford Fiesta. Ford
well,
Fiesta.
it's a Mitsubishi Galant.
That's right.
It's whether fun to say
All right,
Galant.
folks. So like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We need
Yeah.
you. We need
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
to do that. All right. So while we're waiting, while you're going and doing that, we're gonna play some music and get this party started. Hey,
Yeah.
Sean Michelle.
1, 2, 3, 4. You ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Never seen a blind man see? I promise you a change is here. Ever seen a cancer dead? Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you a change is here.
What's up, everybody? What is happening? It is time. It is time for the Hog Slop podcast. I'm your boy Bigger T, joined as always by my main man, Big C, Clint Clark. How you doing, buddy?
Man, I am fantastic, better than I deserve for show, for sure. You know, I was thinking that we often end the show, and you usually catch me off guard with, "Hey, what you watching?"
Yeah, yeah.
Which is code for we haven't talked as long as I think we should have talked. So let's try to drag a couple more minutes out of the show.
Filler. Yeah,
Yeah, filler show. So
yeah.
to answer your question, I was watching SNL celebrating 50 years. I was watching that, and then I was
Mhm.
watching 5 minutes. Um, and it's talking about how that's your break, and it's like 5 minutes.
Mhm.
And I thought to myself, because me and you, we often think alike. We have the same thoughts,
Yeah, yeah.
which is crazy.
It's scary.
Because I mean, like me and you are so much alike in some ways, and then in some ways we couldn't be more different.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of our friendship. But one thing we agree upon was we've thought about this. I mean, you got to imagine they're like in the groundlings and doing all this, and they get their big break, get this Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah.
Imagine you've moved from Wooster, Arkansas, and you like, golly gee willikers, I'm gonna see if I can make it in Hollywood.
That's right.
And you move out to Hollywood and you meet an agent, and it's some sleazeball that has a couch you probably wouldn't even sit on. He's like, "Kid, I got you." And then he goes, "Man, I booked you a commercial." And you're like, "What? A commercial?" You know, like, this is a big break, and you're calling your mom, "I booked a commercial."
Mm.
And you get there, and you're the guy in the background rubbing your stomach, going, "Diarrhea,
Yeah.
diarrhea." You know, you're singing and dancing to like an
Yeah.
Ozempic commercial, like, "Hey, I'm fat and I need to lose weight,"
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
and you're doing it to a dance number, jabbing
That's right.
yourself in your
That's right.
stomach
Yeah.
with an Ozempic needle
Yeah.
to like a dance number
You're dancing.
choreographed by
You're
Paula
dancing as
Abdul.
they're putting all the side effects to whatever herpes medication.
Like,
They get.
listen, there's no cure for herpes.
Yeah,
You're sitting there playing golf.
that's right. But I'm happy
There's no.
because when it inflames, I got this medicine.
Your mom's calling you, Billy. Do you got herpes?
You got the herpes?
Did you do this for free Valtrex?
That's right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you're like you can't wait to make it. You can't wait to make it, and then you're like in an STD commercial,
Yeah.
like like a hemorrhoid commercial.
Yeah.
And it's like you need the work. Like it's like, look, I don't want to be known as the hemorrhoid guy in Hollywood,
Yeah.
but I also need to pay my rent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, well, it looks like I'm the hemorrhoid guy.
Yeah.
So because I called you about that, or I sent you a polo a while back, and you're like, dude, I've thought the same
Yeah.
about how you get these you grind and you grind and you grind for that big break,
Yeah.
and then
And this crazy stuff they got to do doing the. Well, and you hear about it with the comedians all the time. You know, they gotta like work the door at a comedy club for years, or
oh yeah,
hand out flyers to try to get people to come in and watch them on the street. You know, they're on the street handing out flyers to try to get a crowd in to watch them do their comedy. You know, and then all of a sudden, they're next thing you know, they're selling out arenas. You know, and or big stadiums now, some of them. So. But and it was neat. I saw the other day an interview. Keenan Thompson has been on SNL for 22 years.
I know it's crazy.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
22 years. And he's
Dude,
like, they just
and
keep calling him.
And he made Good Burger too.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I mean, he's talented, man. He does a great job. He pulls off so many characters and stuff.
okay. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Now I watched that, and my answer to this has now changed. So I'm gonna ask you this question, and then I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong when after you answer it.
Okay.
Most successful member ever of Saturday Night Live.
Most successful?
Successful. Who would you say has had the best career?
Whew. Will Ferrell.
I will see you, Robert Downey Jr.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, but because you don't think about him as a Saturday Night Live guy because he's only there that one season, and he got it because he was best friends with Michael C. Hall.
Yeah.
So I mean that's the only thing. But I was like, yeah, because you almost can't count him as a Saturday Night Live guy because I don't think he's famous for.
Well, he just didn't have the long career on Saturday Night Live. Like you don't think about him on Saturday Night Live.
Right, yeah, no.
As much as you do.
Like Sandler,
Farrell, or even like Colin Jost, Seth Meyers, and those guys are making bank like writing shows, and I've been watching a show on Netflix, AP Bio.
Oh yeah, no, I've not.
And Seth Meyers is one of the writers or creators of it or whatever, and he does a good. It's
got a Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia on it, and Patton Oswalt. So
yeah, it's a good show. Anyway, all right, man. So the Super Bowl set. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Both of us picked KC and Philly. Bart Reed picked Washington and KC. So he was wrong, but we were right. Both of us picked KC and Philly. Who you got to win it all? Let's go ahead and talk about that real quick.
Dude, it's an interesting matchup. It really is because I think it's strength on strength. I think Mahomes is going to do what Mahomes do. He's going to put up with 27. He's going to put up 27 to 35 points.
Yeah.
And so really it's can Philly run the ball on Kansas City. Kansas City hasn't given up a 100-yard rusher all year.
Yeah.
And had Barkley played the last game of the season, he would have had the rushing record.
Oh yeah.
I just and so it can hurts passing, be a big enough threat passing to keep them honest.
Yeah.
You know, I mean
That's right.
it's
Big question.
Patrick Mahomes is trying to put himself in a position to say he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Because right now you got to just call it what it is. Tom Brady's the GOAT. I mean, Philadelphia is his opponent, but his opponent, rest assured, is Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He's after that legacy, and he's what? He's not even 29 yet. Like he's going to turn 29, so he's not even 30. This could be a three-peat, which has never been done. And man, number 4 before he turns 30.
Yeah.
He turns 30. I mean, no one's going to get close to being the GOAT in our lifetime again, I don't think. I really don't. Not in mine in your lifetime.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know, man. Mahomes, it's legacy for Mahomes. I mean, he is staring down legacy. You know, he's got a chip on his shoulder for being the 10th draft pick.
Yeah.
You know, Brady was from the 6th round. So I still haven't answered your question because I don't know the answer. It could be either one of them. I'm pulling for Philly, but my money would be on Kansas City.
Well, I think Philly has the better roster. I think they have the more talent up and down the roster. I think Kansas City has the better coach and the better team as far as a team. Well, because of Mahomes, because of Kelsey, because of their, just they got guys that have been there, done that. Not only has Mahomes been there and done that, they got other guys that have been there and done that. Right.
And I want to stop and say something as we're going on is the amount of respect that I have for Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, the amount of respect I have for that man. I mean, because look at what he went through.
Yeah.
It's pulled to the national championship game for Tua.
Yeah.
And then the next season, like it's like, yeah, we're gonna have a battle, but everybody knew it was gonna be Tua. Gets benched after leading his team to the national championship game.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have won the national championship that year if it hadn't been for him because Tua got hurt.
Yeah.
In the conference championship game, and Hurts came in and just basically brought him back against Georgia. Then transferred to Oklahoma and became a Heisman finalist, 2nd-round draft pick to play. They didn't know what because they had Wentz at the time, and then ends up taking the job. And the rest is history. Now he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I mean, but it didn't come easy for him, and he's a testament on how to handle adversity. So I would love to see him get a ring.
Yeah.
Love to see him get a ring.
Well, my pick's going to be KC.
Yeah, problem is Mahomes is on that other sideline.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to pick KC to win it, but I wouldn't be shocked if Philly ended up winning it. But I think it'll be KC in the long run. Now, we talked a lot last week with Bart Reed about this basketball team, and they did finally get an SEC win against Georgia. A good win. I mean, Georgia's knocked on the door of the top 25, but then they had a bad loss against Oklahoma. Still just can't put it together, Clint. They, a lot of the things we talked about, they're not driving to the basket well. They're not hitting shots. They're not hitting layups. They're not hitting threes. They're just not doing well.
I mean, really, what's left unsaid? That last play they ran against Oklahoma was atrocious.
Yeah.
I think me or you could have drawn it up better. That's not true. That's 100% not true. It was ugly. I don't know what they were thinking. Because I went to bed and I got up and I looked at like 2 minutes left in the game and it was tied. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna get up, watch the end of the game, and then I wish I had.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. They got to go to Kentucky this week.
Yeah, and after no midweek game, so if they were bruised up, okay, they've had a chance to rest this week. They go to Kentucky. It's going to be tense. Cal's probably going to get booed, as he probably should. Um, think they stand a chance against Kentucky?
No.
Yeah,
I
kind of there
just
with you.
don't. They I'd heard something. There was a on Facebook that Arkansas, Kentucky get done dirty because they made game day went to Duke versus North Carolina. I'm like, dude, y'all would have hated that because all it would
Yeah,
have been about was how bad Arkansas struggled. That's all
yeah,
it would have been about.
yeah,
It'd been just look how sad this is. I mean, that's all it would have been. So they did us a favor.
yeah,
Uh, but then they had um, so yeah, it just I mean they've got his chance. But
yeah,
you got them kids are going to take some trolling because we got 3 or 4 former Kentucky players, and then you got a couple that were committed there with Wagner. I mean with Knox and Richmond,
yeah,
because Boogie Flan won't be playing. So it's just it's a rough year. I think these guys are going to be fired up, so I'll give them a shot. I don't see it happening.
yeah,
Uh, and it's going to be a long year.
yeah.
I don't. I think there's only one person that can save us, Travis.
Who's that?
Dave Van Horn.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We gotta root for baseball to get here
in,
quick.
in DVH we trust.
That's right.
Because even if it's a down year for Arkansas, we're gonna be like ranked number 10. It's
Yeah,
number 16, like somewhere in there. It's like bad's not that bad. We're
yeah,
gonna be bad. It's because we're spoiled baseball fans.
yeah.
Um,
Well, Clint, so that's enough basketball. It's kind of depressing.
yeah, I got sad.
Thero's a stud. Give him the ball more. Knox is doing better. Steele needs more out of him, and some other guys. Anyway, um, college football was different this year with the 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the playoff first.
Okay.
One of the big changes that has already been put out there by other people, okay, and and me and you have talked about it, is giving the 4 top seeds home field advantage in that second round. That would mean making the first round your bowl games. I like that idea. This time the second round was the bowl games.
Right.
And so they played on neutral sites. Instead, make the first round your bowl games, okay? And your top 4 seeds then get to host in the second round, get to host at home. Whether it's they live up north, whether they live in the south. I'm fine with playing snow games. I think that was a cool aspect of this year. Some people say, well, we got to do them down in the south so they have good weather. Forget that. Let's play them in the snow. We like
Yeah, I
that.
mean, no, a home game's a home game is a home game.
Yeah. What do you think about that? What do you think about that idea?
Well, I mean, it's like you're giving a double reward away for the top 5 because you get a bye week and then you get it, and then you get a
At
home
home.
game.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I would be against that.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I would be 100%. Now I'm for changing the way the top 4 seeds are handed out. That I'm 100% for. It should be the top 4 teams.
Yeah.
Period. The end. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
It should be the top 4 seeds because I mean Notre Dame should not have had to play Indiana.
Yeah.
They just shouldn't have. I mean Notre Dame had lost 1 game all year. They beat teams like USC. They beat Texas A&M. They had a resume, and obviously they made it to the final. They should have been at no worse than the number 4 seed, probably the number 3 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Might even have been the number 2 seed. I get it. You want to punish them for not playing in a conference, but what sense does it make for someone with Notre Dame's resume to have to play a first round game and a team with Boise State's resume to get a first round bye? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Now, part of why that happened was because SMU lost the ACC title game to Clemson, and Clemson should have been enjoying the beautiful Capital One citrus, whatever the crap it is now, Bowl.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, I can't keep up. It's the Citrus Bowl.
yeah,
They should have been in beautiful Orlando at the Citrus Bowl, Camping World Stadium, whatever.
yeah, yeah,
So they should have been there.
yeah,
They were not a playoff team.
yeah,
Um, so they really, I think they wanted Miami might should have had that spot. You could, of course, then you got Alabama and Ole Miss that would argue that they
yeah.
should have the spot. Okay, whatever. But they upset SMU. So SMU is talking about changing the way they do their title game,
Yeah.
rewarding a regular season champion, and then the 2-3 teams play in the conference championship game.
Yeah.
Travis, how you feel about that?
I don't like it. If you're going to have a championship game, play the two best teams or get rid of the conference championship game.
See, and that's almost, almost the way I think they should go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Especially with them adding these playoff games.
yeah.
That's a lot of games for college kids because
Oh,
as of now, they're still going to class. Okay. Supposed to. They're
they're
still
making more
college
than their
students.
professor.
Yeah. Well, they're still college students. And so that's a lot, man. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, it's already a lot of games when you throw in those playoffs. So I would be I'd be okay with just, having a regular season champ and then, going from there.
I mean, you're eventually going to have controversy. Like, let's just say hypothetically this year in the SEC. Let's say Alabama, let's say Georgia and Texas don't exist.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, isn't that nice?
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels good. Texas
Yeah.
doesn't exist. The Longhorns are
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
What a wonderful world.
Well, what a wonderful world that could be. Anyway, but then that would leave Ole Miss, Alabama, and South Carolina, all three
Yeah.
with identical records.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing: South Carolina lost to both of them, so you'd say they were out. What's the tiebreaker for Texas A&M? I mean, they get one. SEC would get one bye.
Yeah.
Who gets the bye? You're going to run into that. What's the tiebreaker? What's the tiebreaker?
Yeah.
And I tell you who it'd be. Alabama, because everything in the SEC goes to Alabama's favor.
Well, the good thing about it is, Clint, in the Power Four conferences, more than likely, if you have a tie at the top, both teams are probably getting in anyway. More than likely. Maybe not every year, but more than likely. So even if they don't get the seed they wanted because of a tiebreaker, because you go to points or whatever else you got to go to for a tiebreaker, you're still getting in the playoff. Okay. So, more than likely. Now, if there's three teams, like the scenario you just laid out, okay, that could happen. However, I think there's always going to be controversy with a playoff. I mean, there's controversy in the NCAA basketball tournament on who the 68 team is every year. So, okay. So, that just happens. That's the way it is, and the seeding they get, I mean, that just happens. Okay. There's going to be that. That's why we love sports. We love to argue about it. That's why we have podcasts. That's okay. Now, there's another fix to college football, Clint, that I'm pretty passionate about, and I have a plan for that I think needs to happen.
All right, let's hear it.
You ready for this? Now, I'm old school, and I like the old bowl system, okay? But I live in a new world now, and the bowls are pointless and meaningless and need to go away. I believe that. However, if you look at it from a coach's perspective and the team's perspective, there's still some really good things about bowl games that is the reason they keep them around. Okay. And it is some TV stuff and things like that that they, there is money in them, or they wouldn't. I mean, money drives everything, right? But here's my idea, Clint. Okay.
I'm all ears, buddy.
Forget the bowl games. Forget them. Let's jazz up spring football, spring
Yeah.
practice. Let's make it more meaningful and better. Let's steal a little bit from the bowls. Let's steal a little bit from NFL preseason football. Okay. And let's put together something that will provide what the bowls do as far as money making and bringing eyes to TV, but will also be something that the teams and coaches will help them be prepared better for the next season, because that's what the coaches talk about, right? That's why Sam Pittman was excited about going to Memphis. The extra practices, getting some younger guys some playing time because of the transfer portal stuff,
Yeah.
all that kind of thing, right? So here's what I think they should do. Work into spring practice to where you have another team come in. So let's just, for example, let's say the SEC decides for a couple years they're going to partner with the Big Ten, however many teams are in the Big Ten now. Okay. So let's say that Arkansas and
Like
Michigan,
19 teams.
Get paired up, just for example. Okay.
Yeah.
So, which would be cool, right? So what would happen is, say the first year, it would be a 2-year commitment for both teams. The first year, Michigan would come to Fayetteville during spring practice. Okay. For a couple days, just like in the NFL preseason, the way teams will get together and practice together, the two teams would practice together. Okay. Now, coaches would love that because they get to put their team against somebody besides their own defensive guys. Well, the offensive guys would. Okay. And the defense would get to go against another offense for a couple days. Now, of course, it's spring practice. You're going against another team. You're not going to put your whole playbook out there. You're going to run, it's going to be vanilla and stuff like that, right? And then after a couple of days, a couple of practices together, then you do like on Saturday, you do like a spring game, like a game, and do it on TV, stream it on ESPN Plus. I mean, they're doing that with everything else now. I mean, crap. Amazon Prime is doing Monday Night Football or whatever,
Yeah.
Thursday Night Football or whatever. Okay, so I mean, Netflix has got football contracts now. Okay, so somebody out there will stream it. Paramount Plus will stream it. Okay, somebody will stream it.
Oh yeah, no, I mean there's some
Okay.
they put it all over ESPN Plus.
Yeah. So, but here's a couple things that would do, and here's what I say do with that also. Make those practices where fans can go to them.
Yeah.
Okay. Make it something to where fans, kind of like spring training is for baseball, where fans will go down to Florida and watch their team get ready for spring training, right? Make it to where fans will want to come up. Okay. At night, do stuff like barbecue. Wright's Barbecue hosts a rib eating contest with some of the football players. Okay. Let some of the players interact with fans, even some of the Michigan players. Okay. Arkansas fans would eat that up, man. I mean, I think any fan would, right? You get some access to the players a little bit, just like you do with the bowl games. Okay.
Yeah.
They do that kind of stuff with the bowl games. You have events at night, kind of leading up to it. For the coaches, I've already said what it does for practice. Also, that would be after the first transfer portal stuff, right? So you've already got your spring guys. You got your freshmen that are coming in the spring. You got your transfer portal guys that came in the spring semester. So you get to get them in there to practice and play in that practice game. Okay. Play that practice game like a real game, but you can play your backups. Okay. Just like the NFL does in the preseason. It's do it like a preseason NFL football game. Okay. Let's let the starter play the first quarter and then bring in the second string and let them do their things. Right. So, but you're going to get, like you do with the bowl games, you're going to get some of the young guys some playing time. And I think it's something that'll work. And then the next year, Arkansas goes up, Michigan hosts it. Okay. And they split the TV money evenly or something. I don't know. They can work out the financials. But like the first year, Fayetteville is going to get a big bump because they're going to be able to host it. The restaurants and hotels are going to get a big bump because the Michigan fans may come down. Arkansas fans are going to go up there and stay for a couple days and be a part of it. All that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Then it'll return to Michigan, and they're going to get a chance to host it, and they'll get their bump. And you still get some of the money that the bowls bring in.
Benny's kind of proposed something similar, but doing it like on week zero.
Yeah, yeah.
Week zero game.
Starting off the year.
Started off the year with it. Another thing that they've talked about doing, I'm not sure if you've seen this, they talked about moving the transfer portal to after the bowl games, basically.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that would solve your problems. Then if you like if you're Patrick Kudas, for example, this year, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to pick on Patrick Kudas and anything like that.
Yeah.
But if you're him and you're like, okay, here's what it's going to be at the end of the season for me to come back. I know he said this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we can't do that. He's like, well, deuces, man. Potty toddy and stuff. But if you're going in the portal, you're still going to opt out of the bowl game. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because at one point the problem wasn't the portal, it was just the opt-outs of the bowl game.
Yeah.
Which then you would lose you'd lose like Traylon Burks and then maybe a couple other players. But it wasn't anything, but the portals changed it. We're like, this guy's just
losing a bunch of folks. Yeah.
Yeah, you're playing,
And see, and the thing is, Clint, and I've heard the talk too, like you're talking about them changing the portal dates. But if you change that portal dates, the portal is geared around so the kids can move to a different school in between semesters, so they can register for classes, so they can see if that school's got their major they want to do, if they can get their class, if they're graduate transfer, they got to figure out what graduate classes they're taking.
Do you think the portal resists because one of them guys gives who craps about academics?
Well, no, but they still got to do all that stuff. That's stuff you still have to do. You got to register for classes. You got to find a house to live in. You got to move all your stuff. You got to do. I mean, that's Carmona talking about.
It's a college kid. You can move all your stuff in the back of a pickup.
But Carmona talked about that's one of the reasons he didn't go to the Hawaii Bowl when he left San Jose State.
Yeah,
because it was going to be at a time when he was going to have to come here, and he was going to be visiting schools, going on visits, and making decisions. And that's the only time they have to do it is that window in between those semesters because they got to finish their finals before they can go do all that stuff. They got to finish up their football season before they can do all that stuff because it's still rules. If they don't finish their finals, they can't transfer to the other school. Now, most coaches are going to work it out to where they can. But you know what I'm saying? They still have to go through all those motions, even though it's probably just going through the motions.
Yeah, you go through the motions, yeah. I think I put something on Facebook one time about, a kid going to calculus, and Mike Floyd commented, you think Bronny James is going to calculus?
Yeah.
You got it.
That's true, yeah. But I mean, and some of them are, though. I mean, like we've interviewed Cam Ball, and he's taking his classes seriously, and he's looking, because he's looking at the big picture thing. There are some of them that do.
Still impresses me about Cam Ball. He's like, it's again what he gets. He goes, it's not. He goes about that second NFL contract.
Yeah, that's right.
There's nothing else.
That was impressive.
Everything else.
He's like, all this NIL money. This is just temporary. He said,
"This is."
He said it's nice, but he said, "What I'm after is that."
Yeah, if you're going to get generational wealth, it's going to be
that second contract.
Because, like Patrick Mahomes, you make that second NFL contract, your kids.
Yeah.
Unless you're an idiot and waste the money, which plenty of guys do, your kids should never have to worry about it.
Now to talk a little more football, and this is particular Razorback. I didn't know if you saw this. But Trey Biddy did come out with his projected spring depth chart.
Oh.
And this is just projected, but some of it's stuff he's hearing from some of the coaches and different people.
Sure, I can't wait to hear.
And guess who he had at center?
I'm going to guess Carmona just because of the look on your face.
Yep. And he was asked on drive time about that, and well, he said, that's my prediction. And he said, and because of some things I'm hearing, because the guy from Oregon and the kid from Georgia Tech, I think he had them two at the tackles, and he had Harris at the left guard. And so I don't know about the guy from, I can't remember where he had the guy from UCF.
UCF. Oh, it'd either be right guard or did he have Blackenstock at right guard?
No, Blackstock was a backup.
Yeah.
Blackstock was a backup. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. He had Crutchfield starting too. He thinks that he'll come in and be able and have a chance to start right away. So he said he thinks Missouri's receiver room was that talented, and that's why he was redshirted this year instead of playing. That they had that many talented receivers.
Well, yeah, I mean, Luther Burden's going to be a first round draft pick.
Yeah.
Pretty hate Missouri.
Yeah.
Just drink.
Yep. That's right. So anyway, it's interesting. Get a chance to go to Hog Sports and check it out. I think that was a free article. So it's one you don't have to be a member, I think, to look at. I may be wrong, but everything I just talked about, Trey talked about it on drive time. So nothing. I didn't give you anything that was.
And one of the things Pittman's already talked about is proving you can play anywhere on the offensive line makes yourself more valuable.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at Bo Limmer starting at center for the Rams.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Carmona makes a lot of sense at center. To be honest with you, I mean, I really thought with the guys we brought in, with the kid from Georgia Tech, with the kid from Oregon, and you got the kid from Ole Miss. It looks like a tackle body too. I think he's a big fella, and so if those guys work out at tackle, I think moving Carmona inside makes a lot of sense because Carmona's a little more athletic, so you can pull him out a little bit, and he's 6'5" instead of 6'8". Those other guys are 6'6" and 6'8". The other two that are starting, or that Trey Biddy has starting.
How big's that offensive line going to be next year, though?
Yeah, I'll tell you too. He mentioned the defensive line. We got those two guys that are like, he said, they can stand to lose a little weight because they're like, we got two guys that are like one's 375 and one's 380, and there's some big old boys. So he said they, to really help out, they probably need to get down to about 350 probably to really.
I remember we were in the dorm room one time and Coach Mullins came in and and Seth was with us, and Seth was the guy I backed up. And then I backed up his back. I don't know. Stop making fun of me, Travis. So we had but I remember Mullins was asking him his weight. He's like, guess. And Mullins like 300, 310, 320. He's like, higher. He goes, I'm not going any higher. He walked off. He's like, I'm not going any higher. He got like 330 or something like that. And Mullins just like, I'm not. That's the size I'm going.
Yeah.
Turned around and walked away.
Well, anyway, so Clint, we still got to root on the basketball team. Maybe they can get up to five or six SEC wins. We'll see.
I'm going to pull for them, and I hope they can pull it out. I hope they turn it around and figure it out.
Yeah,
they've had glimpses where you're like, all right, and then they have glimpses where you just want to put your head in the door and slam it repeatedly.
Yeah, that's right. Well, folks, thanks for watching and listening.
Yeah.
Like, share, comment. We need you. We need your likes, shares, and comments, especially share. I love it when I see people are sharing it on Facebook, sharing it on other social medias. Okay. So get out there and share it for us. Let other people know. That's how we need our name out there. And that's the only way to do that is y'all to help us. Okay. We've bought ads. We've done all that kind of stuff, but nothing works better than y'all saying, hey, man, check out this podcast.
You guys, Paul Feinbaum approved.
That's right. Well, Clint, it's been raining the last couple of days, so stay dry. It's warming up a little bit. Had to turn the heaters down in the house, so that's nice.
That is nice.
But have a great rest of the week. And folks,
bye everybody.
Peace out.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Oh, I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy